Hello everyone, welcome back. Viking Crafter here, and thank you for joining me with episode 11 of the Midgard Minecraft SSP series. So in the previous episode we made this thing, our beacon, and I did promise that I was actually going to be using it for the video this week. That takes a lot longer to mine than I remember. But this week we're going to be kind of looking at the way that I mine and see how efficient it is. Now, to show you what I mean by that, we'll go down into my mine and I will very quickly show you the way that I do my mining, because as I've explained in previous videos, I am quite OCD with certain things when it comes to Minecraft, so I'm going to quickly show you my OCD mining. So as you can see, we are in a 3x3 corridor that just goes on in, well, it's going that direction behind me. That direction is where we just came from, down the stairs. But if we go off to the sides, I've now lost where I am. Right, this is going into the mine. So if we go off down the sides, as you can see, every 3 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, there is a 2x2 channel. Now the reason for that is that when you go through these 2x2 channels, you see that block, that block, that block, that block, that block, and that block. There's no point doing another 2x2 here because you've already looked at those ones. So if we go over again, that looks at that block, 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 all the blocks. So it, in my head, just makes it quite an efficient way of mining. Now the 3x3, that's purely for my own OCD. I came up with this way of mining during a time when I thought this actually looked like quite a good looking mine, and I was going for a bit more of an aesthetic, and I know it's not a good looking mine, it's literally a 3x3 tunnel, but it kind of stuck with me, so I just continued it. But getting into the nitty gritty of how I actually do the mining, what I do, I'll create a quick little off tunnel here. So we're 3 along, 1, 2, 3. I stand right up against it and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can't actually mine any further in, so then we'll come back and we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I place a torch there. I go all the way along using that exact same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, torch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, torch. All the way along until I've used up 10 torches. And there we go. So 10 torches gets me all the way through into another 3x3 that I've set up. And I then turn around and do the exact same thing going back that way. So I've actually got 3 of these 3x3 tunnels. There's obviously this middle one we're in, 1 that side, and 1 that side. And what I'm going to do in this episode, like I say, is just try and see how efficient this way of mining actually is by comparing it against 2 other well-known ways of mining. And to keep it completely fair, I'm going to spend the exact same amount of time on each different type of mining. So I'm going to do an hour of mining on each technique, keep all the resources separately, and by all the resources I basically mean diamonds, because it gets to a point where you don't need any more coal, you don't need any more redstone, you don't need any more iron. I've got the iron farm, it's basically unlimited. So the only thing I'm after really is the diamonds. So we're going to pull all the diamonds separately and just see which technique actually seems the most efficient way of mining diamonds. So without any further ado, let's get to mining. Well, obviously that went very wrong and not at all the way I planned. Luckily, I was actually able to pick up all the diamonds that I had got so far. I then continued to do the rest of the hour. So from that way of mining, we have got a total of 47 diamond blocks. Now I'm going to leave them as diamond blocks and not convert them into diamonds just yet, because the conversion rate, even with Fortune 3, can be different across, you know, all these 3 different types of mining. So I'm going to put those 47 in there and quickly put a sign on here, VC mining, and that is the Viking Crafter way of mining, for which we get 47 diamond blocks. So the next type of mining we're going to do is obviously going to be in this chest when we're finished, but that is going to be branch mining. Now, for those of you that don't know what branch mining is, let me explain. Branch mining is probably one of the most known variants of mining in Minecraft. I've got this little bit back here set up. Basically, it didn't look nice. Anyway, the idea is that you basically just go in a straight line. So down there, I'm literally just going to be in a 2x2 tunnel, just going straight down that way as far as I possibly can, and getting... Oh, that's the back of my head. There's the front. Hello! Yeah, so as far this way as possible, and just getting as many diamonds as possible in the process, which is, of course, the whole point of this episode. So, again, without any further ados, let's get to it. And there we go with the branch mining. Thankfully, I didn't die on that one. But let's have a look at what we got. Now, to remind you very quickly, with my style of mining, Viking Crafter mining, we got 47 diamond ore blocks. With branch mining, now, before I open this, I will just mention, I obviously went completely in a straight line. Now, what a lot of people will do with branch mining is they will mine in a straight line, and then when they hit ravines, caves, etc., they will go exploring in there, find diamonds, and then add them to their pile, then carry on branch mining. I didn't want to do that because I die easily, as we saw from my own method of mining. I fell in lava. I mean, if that happened with my own method of mining, imagine what would happen if we went in a ravine. Not good things. So, I didn't do it. So, I know there's going to be people going, oh, you didn't do it properly. That's not branch mining. That's not how you do it. But that's how I do it, and that's why I don't do it. Because I got 14. Awful. Absolutely terrible. I'm not going to be doing that again. That was a waste of an hour. But the next and final method is going to be the beacon mining. Now, I shall again explain to those of you that don't know how to mine with a beacon. So the idea is I have a beacon set up behind me here that we acquired in the previous episode. That has on it, if I can remember how to do this, there we go. I have haste 2. Now that basically means that if I mine some stone, it's insta-mine. I mean, you can see how quick that is. It's the same with the gravel, and I believe it's the same with, yeah, all the basic blocks, andesite, gravel, what's this one? Granite, you know, all the big G's. It's just an instant mine. So the idea is I go around and basically just do that and cause a massive havoc across the surrounding area, everywhere that this haste 2 will spread to, and then just kind of see what we get at the end. It's going to give a lot more resources in general this way. So if you are, mining for minerals and things like stone, gravel, andesite, etc., this is definitely the best method to use, 100%, hands down. But that's not what we're looking at in this episode. We are looking at diamonds. So, for the final time in this episode, without any further ados, let's get mining. What a mess. That's like a massive mass of mess with a mess thrown in and a massive bit of mess. Now, for those eagle-eyed viewers among you, you may have been counting along with the way I recorded that, so you may already know how many we got. But again, just to recap, my version of mining, we got 47. The kind of branch mining but kind of not, we got 14. Absolutely awful effort. And from the beacon mining, 46. So, I mean, mine, yeah, I only got one more bit of diamond ore. So over the space of maybe another hour, it might be the other way round. There might be slightly more from the beacon, less from my version of mining, but they're basically around the same sort of efficiency. However, I disagree, because as you guys saw previously from my version of mining, I've got all of these channels going right through the middle of it. Now, as I said, I didn't include these channels in the hour mining that I did. So that, yes, while it adds time, it also adds another channel for me to find diamonds in. I did find a few diamonds while digging these channels, so that is a bonus. But with the beacon version of mining, as I said before, there's so many resources that you get from doing this, stone, gravel, andesite, just tons of resources. It actually takes so long to then collate them all together and organise them. I mean, you could, create just a chest monster and then never know what you've actually got, and it kind of defies the point of collecting them all up in the first place. But actually collating them into an organised or semi-organised system takes so much longer, as well as the fact that I've kind of got to the edge of most of this in terms of the haste 2. I couldn't really go any further without losing the haste 2. So once I've got this far, I'd then have to pack this all up and reset it up somewhere else. And that, again, takes a lot of time. So in short, I honestly think that the way I currently mine is, for me, the best way to mine. Now, you may disagree with me, and that's okay. But I'm not going to change the way that I mine, and if I'm honest, the only way I probably would have stopped this version is if either of these versions produced like double the amount that this does, just because I've done it for so many years, I've got so used to mining that way, and I'm just not going to change. It's going to take too much effort, and no one likes change. But now I think the bit that we are all looking forward to, I certainly am. Whew, that's a lot. We're gonna see. I'm drowning. We're gonna see how many diamonds we actually get from all of this diamond ore. Okay, that's actually a lot more than I was expecting. Look at that. 3 full stacks plus 37. My maths aren't great. I can barely put 1 and 2 together, so I can't actually figure out off the top of my head how much that is. I just used a calculator. That's 229 diamonds. In the space of 3 hours, I've mined 229 diamonds. I'm really happy with that. Having said that, I will just remind you that this is a single player world, and therefore that amount of diamonds is completely meaningless and useful to me, because I really don't think I'm going to die enough to be able to use that, especially as I've got a full suit of diamond armor there. I've got all of these diamond tools and diamond armor in there, and not to mention I'm wearing netherite and all my stuff is netherite. I mean, that's my light tree, you can't really see that, but from the front it's just netherite, so there's not a lot of point. I wasted my time. 3 hours gone. Having said that, I am really quite happy that I have managed to basically confirm to myself that the way I mine is the right way for me to mine. You may disagree, like I said, and that's completely up to you. If you have a separate way of mining, that's absolutely fine. I'm not saying everyone now has to use my method. And as I record this, the new update is actually being released tomorrow. So it's very possible that with all the caves and stuff underground that will soon be generating, I may not be able to do that method for much longer. It may not work as well as it currently does. But I'm going to have to figure out the correct level to mine at, and you know, this video is kind of outdated already as soon as I upload it. So we'll see what happens with that one. It's a very short episode, despite the fact that it's taken me a long time to release it. So I do apologise about that. I've been very busy. I didn't think this would actually take as long to do, but it turns out doing a full 3 hours of mining actually needs to be broken up into separate chunks when you have a young baby and a full-time job. It just can't be done all at once, or even in bite-sized chunks. I've just got to break it down into nibble-sized chunks, really. So I apologise for how long this video has taken to release. The next one may be as long. I really don't know. But on that slightly ambiguous point, we are going to call it there for today's episode. So thank you very much again for watching. I hope you did learn something, even if it's just a case of I don't want to mine the way that the Viking crafter does. So hopefully I will see you all again in the next episode. Ta-ta!